How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this event in Detroit, Michigan called AfroFuture Fest. Now, I'm not quite sure what this fest is, if it's a rap concert, R&B, if they're going to be selling Afrocentric body sprays and incense and soaps or whatever, but I digress. What they were trying to do here is charge white people double the ticket price of so-called people of color. And before I even get into it, this whole term, people of color, is absurd. It ain't nothing but colored people backwards with an of in the middle. You know, people say, oh, you can't call me colored, that's racist. But you call yourself a person of color. It's the same phrase, it's just kind of jazzed up a little bit. But I'll move on. Now, this whole thing started on social media. It kind of blew up. It was a post from, I think, Zuby. And shout out to him. I think he was on Candace Owens' show the other day. He's a rapper over there in UK, but grew up in Saudi Arabia. Great dude. But anyway, he had it on his page and people were sharing it. Some said that it was fake. It wasn't real. They were questioning where it was from. And then people did digging and found out that it was from an actual event in Detroit. Now, Eventbrite, which is where they had the event tickets hosted at, they threatened to take them off. It's like, look, we do not condone any discrimination of any protected class, race, or, you know, if you LGBT or whatever, we don't tolerate that. So they threatened to pull the whole thing down. Now, the people that are organizing the event came out and said, well, we're going to change the pricing. We're not going to charge white people more anymore. But if you are a white person, you can donate if you like. And they also said that we're doing this because we're getting threatening comments from white supremacists and racists and stuff like that. And we got to protect our elders in the community. It didn't even really like that. They were getting a lot of negative feedback. Matter of fact, one of their own artists that was going to perform, a girl by the name of Tiny Jag, who was a rapper, she pulled out. She said, look, I'm biracial, so how am I going to say to half of my family, you can come, but you got to pay more? It doesn't make any sense. So she pulled out at the event totally. So you can't just say that it's, you know, a racist thing, that they're getting upset about it. And how are you going to call people being upset at your racism racist? It doesn't make any sense. If you charge a white person more than a black person because they're white, that's racist. All right. These people who made this event will be the exact same ones that screech all day, cry all day, whine all day about racism, institutional racism. It's holding me back. I can't get nowhere. But you want to engage in racism. It doesn't make any sense. These people act like we never had a civil rights movement, like we never fought for equality in between races as far as how you're treated on a governmental level, right? You can't have anything be segregated by race and all this and that. Now, some would say, oh, freedom of association. Okay. If you want to charge white folks more than black folks, you should be able to do so. But at the same time, you can't cry about racism. You can't cry about a thing that you're engaging in. You know, that doesn't make any sense. Now, of course you could, but I mean, it's just like punching yourself in the face and then keep crying about how you're bruised up all the time. It's like, all you got to do is just stop doing it yourself. Okay. Stop engaging in anything that you don't want to have happen. It's really simple. But you know what I blame more than anything on this whole situation playing out is the general tone from the mainstream media. They allow things like this to be aired on the airwaves all the time. They'll say, oh, if you are a person of color, you cannot be racist. You have no power, which is also racist itself. To say that, oh, because you're not white, you don't have any power. You can't do anything that white folks can do to you. That's like, you know, that's telling you that you're less than white people. So when we say, you know, white supremacy this, white supremacy that, you're putting yourself at a lower position and elevating another race at a higher position. What's going to end up happening is that you have envy, you have jealousy. That's going to cause a reaction in different ways. It could be violence. It could be things like this where you're saying, okay, we're going to just equal the playing field. We're going to level the playing field and we're going to charge them more. Things that are clearly racist that you think are good because they're going to try to stamp out racism. The truth is that the racism that you think is there is only in your own mind. You think you're less than the white man. You think that they have an advantage over you. The reality is that's just not the case. Imagine if this were a white group that came out and said, okay, white Fro Future Fest, and we're going to charge everybody that's not white more than whites. Neo-Nazi, racist, KKK, whatever. You have the privilege of not being included in that kind of class. Although what you're doing is most certainly racist, the same way it would be if it were white folks doing it, Asian folks, Hispanic, or whatever. It'd be racist. Don't cry about a thing that you're engaging in. And I'll leave that right there for now. But what say you? Do you think that what these people did was racist? It's pretty clear to me. It ain't really no objection, I think, from anybody with a rational mind. And if you think that way, please let me know why in the comments below. Or is it not racist? Do you think that since people of color, as you would say, or colored folks, which is the same phrase, just a little bit more real, do you think colored folks have no power? We can't do anything that a white person can do. We're just so weak and we're so non-able to do anything that if we have an event like this with a ticket price that's higher for white folks, it's not really a big deal because we're just poor colored folks. We can't do anything for ourselves. If you feel that way, let me know in the comments below. And that question was kind of asked in jest, but I have had people actually say, yes, I think that black folks or people of color can't do things. They are not able, they are not capable of handling themselves in this society like white folks. So some people believe that. It's more along the lines of the so-called white supremacists or the racists that say that. But I'm hearing more from the left who claim to be anti-racist say that than anybody else. That's just my opinion. That's just my 2 cents. And whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.